So, what I'm doing here is I'm looking up the plot to this film that I just watched because I completely forgot what it was about. So, I gotta look it up. Doesn't have very good sense of what's to come, does it? Hey guys, what's up? Biggest weeaboo who doesn't actually watch anime here, Ryan, here for another review, and today I'm actually gonna review an anime. Today I'm going to review Metropolis, directed by Rintaro and written by Osamu Tezuka. This film is about a boy named Kenichi, a girl named Tima, and all sorts of crazy hijinks in the big old city of Metropolis. Yeah, honestly, this movie's kind of boring. Like, the first 20 minutes are good, the last 20 minutes are good, but everything else in the middle is just so slow, I feel like. So let's talk about what I liked. The biggest plus this film has going for it is the art style. Everything looks absolutely beautiful in the film. It is one of the prettiest animes I've watched in a while, and I was surprised about how old it was. I thought it was from the early 2010s, but it's actually from the year 2001. And everything in it is so cool looking. The backgrounds are really cool, and the character design. The character design has a lot of reminiscence of some old 50s and 60s animes, while also some elements of some old 1920s and 1930s Western cartoons. I see a lot of, I think a lot about Astro Boy and all that, and some of Speed Racer, and also a bit of, I guess a little bit of Felix the Cat, and some of the, I guess that's what, 1910s, but some of that sort of elements of stuff is what I see a lot in this film. And also, speaking of the 1920s, this film is loosely based on a film from the 1920s called Metropolis, directed by Fritz Lang, which I haven't seen yet, but I will probably watch as part of my 100 days of 100 films. Another thing about the 1920s in this film is the music. There's a lot of 1920s era music, a lot of jazz, a lot of that. It's very cool, very interesting, keeps the whole thing it keeps you engaged, even though a lot of it's very boring. Like, I'll get to that when I get to the bad stuff, but the music's unbelievable. The art is very cool, and the last 20 or so minutes were so exciting. Like, that was fun to watch. If this was a 40-minute film and you kind of stitched it together as opposed to an hour and 40-minute film, I would have given this a 10 out of 10, Bo. So now let's talk about the stuff I don't like about the film. Basically everything else. But no, in all honesty, the voice acting isn't very good. It's pretty stilted, but I kind of give that a little bit of a pass because it's the early 2000s. I watched the dub version, so I don't expect anything outstanding, but I do expect something, and it just felt so goofy. But I think that's part of the writing too, because a lot of the writing's not very good either. The whole thing, there's so much exposition, and it's so hard to get through sometimes. There's just always characters explaining this, explaining that. Oh, this is what the history of this is. This is the background of this. It's like, and there's also a lot of monologues. Way too many monologues. There's also a lot of struggles with the pacing throughout the film. Like, the last 20 minutes and the first 20 minutes are the best parts of the film. Everything else is just trudging through it. It's like it's going through molasses, man. Like, it's miserable, you know? Overall, I'd say that if you're a fan of anime, and if you like the old 1920s film directed by Fritz Lang, then definitely watch this. But other than that, there's nothing too amazing about it, you know? I don't think it'd be worth you taking out your time for it. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Well then, that was my review. Subscribe down below, like the video, watch my other stuff. I'm doing 100 films in 100 days. I'm gonna try to keep doing that. I don't know if I will. The reason I said I don't know if I'll get through all 100 days is because I'm a rugby player for my university's rugby team. I'm also in university studying, so I've just got a lot of stuff going on. But at most, I might take like 3 days off in a row. But I'm gonna try to make that as few and far between as possible, you know? So tomorrow, I'm gonna watch, what am I gonna watch? I'll watch Le Samurai from 1967. Thank you very much for watching, and I can't wait to see y'all tomorrow.